Hey guys, welcome back to our weekly live event. I know I missed last Sunday, but I was at a wedding, so it was good to see everybody again. Pascal Corcus, but you all know me. You guys follow my page. This week we're going to talk about how credit affects refinance rates. So I'm happy to see everybody again. Hope everyone had a great week. I'm having a killer week right now, so hope everybody else is doing well too. What's up, guys? What's going on? What's up, Alice? What's going on, Sal? Hey, Jay, what's up? Well, I hope everyone is having a good week. Hey, what's up, Android? What's up, Team Ambition? How you doing? Yeah, this is actually at my house. Just trying to relax right now. D nice. What's up, them? What's going on, the mystery? What's up, Young Prince? Good to see everybody. It's good to see everybody. What's up, bro? What's up, Dino? So yeah, this week we're going to talk about how credit affects refinance rates. And how's my week so far? My week's been pretty good. I came back from a wedding. It was a lot of fun, but had an 8-hour flight back. Tuesday was slammed. Got a whole bunch of mortgage refinances I got to work on. Just running numbers, I got a 8-unit in Dunedin. We're going to be putting in new roof, new window, new hurricane project. Working on getting the parking lot. Working on doing the pool. Lots of stuff going on. This morning was pretty good. I got up. I did Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I got my neck cranked. I got kneed in the nose. I started bleeding. Started off to a great day, but actually it's all good. And then I got a call, really cool stuff. I got a call, and my coach told me that I actually got first place in the competition for my weight class, and I made it into Worlds. So I'm going to be going to World Competition for Powerlifting November 8th in Atlanta, Georgia. So it's really cool. It's going to be a lot of fun. And it's nice because it's in Atlanta. Last year was in Canada. So it's going to be really nice. It's going to be an awesome time. And basically my whole team made it. So we're all going to be going together. So it's going to be a good time. It's going to be good stuff. How's everybody else doing? How's everybody's week been? The market's all right now. I think the market's is fine. We're not really going to see the problems until the foreclosures come. And you can't start having the foreclosures until the forbearances are over. And we're not going to be able to have a lot of evictions till the eviction period is over. So all that's been stalled. I think around May 2021, you're going to start seeing that. What's up, Rob? So you got a credit question. That's awesome. Today we're going to talk about credit and how credit affects mortgage refinances. So hold your question and I'm going to answer it. Remember, guys, questions that come in on YouTube, I answer first. Questions that go live on IG, I answer second. Third, I'm going to answer the questions in the questions section. And fourth, I'll be answering the questions in a DM. Nurse says house tour, please. I would, but my 3 kids are sleeping right now. So next time. Yeah. And it's actually pretty dark right now here. It's 10 o'clock at night, so it's pretty dark. Most of the lights are off, so you're not really going to get the full effect, but I will one day. Awesome. Should I buy a house right now? No. Unless you're getting like 30% off, it's not worth it. So, all right, guys, I am going to talk about the topic of today, which today's topic is how credit affects refinance rates. So this week I had someone come to do a refinance. And the first thing is when you're getting a refinance in the current 2020 market, if you do a standard rate and term refinance, which means you're not taking any cash out on your refinance, you just have a $100,000 loan, you're doing a refinance, and you are going to keep the $100,000, but you just want to lower interest rate or extend it to a 30-year period. If you're doing that, there's not a lot of fees associated. So, but if you are taking cash out, there is a lot of fees. So I just want you guys to be aware that that is the situation right now. Now, to the point, if someone came in with, say, a 800 credit score, between a 750 and 800, it doesn't make much difference on your actual rate. Now, what I want people to really realize is it's not the rate that's technically changing when you're getting a loan. You can look at it as two ways. You can look at it as the rate changing, or you can look at it as the fees associated to get that rate changing. Because when you have a low interest rate, it's a very low risk loan. But if someone that has a high risk, high probability of not paying back the loan, they actually have to pay more money to get that lower interest loan or that lower risk loan. So if you have between a 750 and 800, it doesn't really make much difference on the rate in your points. But if you start going below 750, between 720 and 750, you actually have to pay more points to get the same rate. So we're going to say roughly, in the example I was looking at today, for say it was a single family refinance, it was about $1,000 more. And then between 720 and 700, it was another 1,000. 680 to 700, another 1,000. And then 650 to 680, another $1,000. So you're looking at about a $5,000 difference on your refinance for the same rate. So the person was looking at a 2.99 rate. So between a 750 credit score and a 650 credit score, it was almost a $5,000 difference that they would have to pay extra in points to get the rate, the 2.99 rate. So you can see that your credit has big implications on how much you're going to pay for a mortgage financing. The same way, credit has a large effects to your credit score. With your credit score actually has large significant effects towards your credit card interest rate, your car interest rate, not just approval rate. The credit doesn't, unless your credit's very bad, like it's under 650, it doesn't really come into play to where it says an approve or a decline. What the issue actually comes to is how much money you have to pay to get this loan. So, and that same thing with your car insurance is affected by your credit. Your health insurance can sometimes be affected by your credit. A lot of factors can be affected by your credit. So it's really important to have credit in good standing. Now, normally it can take you 3 to 18 months to fix your credit up properly to buy a property or to make a major purchase. So it's really important to start as soon as possible to fix your credit up. So I thought that was very important to let you guys know that. Make sure you got your credit right so you can get the best deal possible, because you don't want to have to pay extra points if you don't have to when you're buying a loan. When you're buying a loan, buying a property. Because what you're actually doing, you're buying a property, but the points you're paying, you're actually buying a loan as well. Now that's kind of hard to click, because you're thinking, oh, I'm buying a property and I'm getting a loan to buy the property. Well, you're actually buying the loan, and then you're using that loan to buy the property. So it's kind of how things work in the finance world. So that's my world. So let's go to the questions, guys. All right. Remember, questions asked on YouTube answered first. Questions answered on live on IG answered second, and questions in the question section answered third. All right, submit your questions, guys, and I'll be happy to answer. So Mike says, I ignored my credit score for a while. Big mistakes. Yeah, definitely. You do not want to ignore anything. if you do, I saw this on a plumber shirt. He said, don't ignore your he said, don't ignore your plumbing leak. It won't go away. It only gets worse. And it's very true with your credit and your finances in order, that it doesn't ever automatically get better. You have to work to make it better. Everyone pray for Texas and Louisiana as Hurricane Laura is about to make landfall. I will, Hugo. T. Nice says, excellent point to your buying the loan and using that to buy the property. Yeah, that's how the finance world really works. And it's when you look at the intricacies of how a loan works, it's crazy. It's awesome and crazy at the same time when you can learn to respect how a loans really work. Pascal, you look like Vinny from Jersey Shore. Come on, bro. Give me. For some reason, someone sent in a question because it doesn't look like the question section is working. I want to get you something to research. Once I get you something to research. Sure. So Mike Walmeda says 10, 15, or 30-year fixed rate. I prefer personally a 30-year fixed rate loan because I feel that we're going to have significant devaluation of our currency, and how we're really going to see it is significant asset appreciation. So I don't see the point of paying back the loan faster because the asset values are going to go up so fast that comparative to how fast the asset value is going to go up, our loans that we owe are going to be insignificant. So it's better that you say invest $100,000 into another property, and by making a smart purchase and let that asset go up in value, than paying down the $100,000 mortgage. In reality, you're saving 3% a year on a 3% loan, where that asset, if you make a smart decision, you should be able to gain about 7% a year. So you're going to make that spread, and the money you pay, the longer you wait to pay that money, the less the purchasing power of that dollar has. All right. Rob says, I'm trying to earn credit because I currently don't have any at all. I've been looking at using a credit card, but I'm not sure how I feel that. Any suggestions? So yes, you should have 2 to 3 credit cards, probably 3 credit cards. This way, you're going to be able to build your credit the fastest. Remember, every credit source you have, credit card, mortgage, car loan, imagine each credit that you have is a person saying something good about you. Every time you make a payment, that is someone saying something good about you. So if you only have 1 credit card, in 12 months, you only have 12 good comments on your credit score. But if you have 3 credit cards, you have 3 good comments per month. You're having 36 good comments on your credit score every year if you're paying them on time and keeping a low balance. So remember that. It's not less cards is better. It's actually more is better as long as you're paying them down and make sure you're maintaining them. What's your take on a low down payment, let's say 3% on an $80,000 loan? So if you get loans under $100,000 and actually loans under $200,000, the rates and points are a lot more. So it's actually cheaper to get to purchase a loan that is around at least $200,000. So what is my thought on that? I don't have an issue with any type of loan. There's times where I'll get a hard money loan and pay 9% interest for that loan. And I can get that loan with only 10% down because I'm going to do a fix and flip. The loan itself doesn't matter. The loan is a tool. Remember that, guys. The loan is a tool. So some people were sending me videos and asking my opinion, like, what do you think of an FHA 3.5% down? What do you think of house hacking? Remember, guys, These are tools. It's like someone coming and telling you, well, is a hammer useful? Well, yeah, a hammer is useful in its proper use. You're not going to use a hammer to cut a piece of wood. You're going to use a saw for that. So you're not going to use a screwdriver to hammer in a nail. Everything has its purpose. So you can't just say flat, what do you think of a 3% $80,000 loan? What really matters is what asset are you purchasing and what is the intent of that asset? If you're planning to fix and flip, then maybe if you can get this type of loan, that could be good because it'll leave you more capital for you to be able to fix up the property and then sell it right away, or to do a BRRRR method. So remember, the loan itself doesn't matter. What matters is the asset. Is the asset a good asset to purchase? And then based off of that, how good that asset is to purchase, what is your goal with that property? And that will determine what type of financing you want to get. And yes, I do think buying a 4-family property, living on one side, house hacking it, fixing the property up is a great way for you to make money. But if you are a professional and making a lot of money, that might not be worth it for you to fix it up. It might be worth it to pay someone else to fix it up. It might be worth it to pay a property manager to manage it. You can still live in the property. I would advise not to tell anybody that you're the owner because they might be coming to you with all the problems. But just make sure that you manage things like you would manage any other business, that you let them know that tell it to the property manager, it's their responsibility to manage these things. All right. Next question says, "Hey Pascal, that's not really a question. I just want to say that I love you and you are a real estate guru." So thanks, Ed. Add Exis. All right. I'm sorry if I said it wrong, but I really appreciate the love, guys. I really appreciate all the good comments you guys have been putting out there and all the good feedback you've been giving me. I really appreciate when you guys are sharing my content because that's basically the way you can just show me how much you appreciate what I'm doing for you. So please keep on liking, comment, sharing, subscribing, smashing the like button below, and putting on the notification bell so you can see all my new videos. We're gonna have a lot of YouTube content coming out. So remember, guys, subscribe on YouTube as well. And also the video quality is better on YouTube. So I got a great question that just came in, and I want to answer that. So here's a question that came in from Team Ambition. All right. So the question is, do you own your home? And the answer is yes, I own my own home. And I want to tell you how, this is an advanced level hack for homes. So I purchased my home for $465,000. I put down 20%, okay? So I avoided PMI. I got the best interest rate at the time, which was 4.25%. I'm going to be refinancing soon, and I'm going to be getting a 2.75% on my refi. Now, some people would say it's not a good idea to buy your own home. It's a bad investment. Well, let me give you the advanced hack on how you can own your own home and live in it like it's a rental. So I bought it for $465,000. I put down 20%. Within 6 months, I went and got a line of credit for 100% of the value of my home. They valued my home, I think, at $515,000. So I was able to get a $140,000 line of credit. So I only put down $80,000, and they gave me a $140,000 line of credit. So that's $60,000 more than what I bought the home for. Now, obviously, I had some closing costs. I used some extra money to put on a brand new roof. And then I have a pool, so I wanted to put in a saltwater system in my pool. I put a triple filtration system on my house. I upgraded my AC system to put 4-inch MERV 11 filters in with peroxide sprays and UV lights. So my house is super sanitized, very much so that you can come, relax, recover, and go out there and hustle with whatever you want to do. And I prefer to do it in business, as you guys know. So to the point, 465, 20% down. I got 100% of the value of the home out in a line of credit. So I got $140,000 out. I have no cash in this home. I actually got extra cash out to upgrade the property. Now my payment per month, first mortgage, second mortgage, lawn maintenance, electric, internet, cable, water, sewer, garbage, pool maintenance, everything for this property is like, I think like $3,000 a month. So let me tell you, I'm in a 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 3-car garage, 5-bedroom, 3-bathroom, 3-car garage with a pool home. I think I'm almost like 3/4 of an acre. So if someone was going to rent my house, they would have to pay $3,000 a month to rent it. Plus, they would have to pay electric, internet, cable, water, sewer, garbage, trash, pool, all this extra stuff. But I own it, and I'm paying $3,000 a month. On top of that, I have all this interest that's coming in from the first and second mortgage. I get to write that off on my taxes. I'm paying property taxes. I get to write that off on my taxes. So I'm living in it for $3,000 a month, which is basically less than rent. And that's all utilities included. And I'm writing it off on my taxes legally. On top of that, the asset's appreciating every year, at least 4% a year on average, if not more. So I'm gaining $20,000 to $35,000 a year in appreciation. That's tax-free. I can make up to $500,000 of profit when I sell this property tax-free, while writing off all of the expenses of living here on my tax return. So tell me what you guys think of my advanced house hack, where I have no money in a property. I'm living in it for the cost of rent. And I don't have any roommates. This is not a house hack where you have roommates. This is a house hack where you have the luxury of affording what you want and to be able to write it all off and basically live in it tax-free. And actually have a tax write-off. That's right. That's sweet. So guys, when I'm giving you my advice, I'm giving you real advice, practical, usable advice. It might be advanced. Some of the things I suggest might be advanced to the average person or to the average real estate investor. But what I'm telling you is functional, usable items that can take you guys to the next level financially. Because all these little tweaks added together make huge differences. All right. Thanks, guys. I appreciate all the positive feedback. So Mary says, I don't K, is your can write off your expenses beside taxes? I don't understand what you're saying, Mary. You can write off your interest on your mortgage, your first and second, and you can write off your property taxes, and that's part of your itemized deductions. And then you can also write off your medical bills and your donations. Now, the average individual needs to have over $24,000 in itemized deductions to write it off. But if you have a $500,000 home, normally a $500,000 home, the interest on the home plus the property taxes combined is going to be enough for you to be able to switch over to itemizing your deductions. Then obviously you have your donations and your medical bills to write off as well. And remember, if you have to get a Tempur-Pedic bed because you have a bad back, you can get your doctor to prescribe that for you. And that Tempur-Pedic bed is $13,000. That's a tax write-off. It's a medical expense. If you have to get specialty vitamins, like I take a lot of vitamins. My vitamins bill per month is like $1,000. Yes, I take $1,000 worth of vitamins a month. Those are expensive because it's for my health. Doctor recommended. I have a saltwater pool. You can write off your saltwater pool. Say you don't even have a pool. If you have to build a pool, because the doctor said it's good for you to swim, you can write off your pool as a medical expense as long as the doctor prescribes you to have access to a pool. And since there's COVID, it's probably advisable for you to have a pool at your house instead of going out and possibly getting sick. So as long as the doctor recommends it, it is tax deductible as a medical expense. Where do you learn all this game from, Pascal? So honestly, I'm constantly studying. Just imagine, I'm 34 now. I started when I was 14. The last 20 years, I'm like reading and studying and listening and watching different stuff, and I'm combining over 20 years of experience. And again, I own an accounting firm, so I'm seeing different tax situations every day. I own an insurance agency, so I'm seeing different insurance situations every day. And I own a mortgage company, so I'm seeing different loan situations every day. Plus, I own my own rental properties, so I know how to set my finances up to continue to be successful, to buy more properties. And we also have the in-house property management and maintenance. So we see all these different things and all of these difficult situations. I'm the person that reviews these difficult situations and will give my advice to the people working for me how to resolve them. And if we can't resolve them, if they become a major issue. So here's a funny story. One of the issues we have right now is one of the tenants moved in and they had multiple pets, more pets than they advised. They moved in with 2 dogs, which is we allow dogs. And then she also moved in with a pig. And we're like, you can't have a pig. You know, that's not an acceptable animal. So she's like, well, yes, I am allowed to have it. And this pig is what is it called? Emotional support pig. Emotional support pig. So now I have a pig at one of my properties, and it's like, okay, we're stuck with a pig in the property. Now we don't mind there being animals at the property, but the person has to take care of the animal, and the person to make sure the animal shouldn't make any noises, disturb any other tenant. The issue is the person that's at our property is not considerate, and we've had a significant amount of complaints from multiple tenants regarding her, not the pig, actually the tenant. The tenant is the issue. The pig could stay. I think the tenant has to go. So, that's just situations. And then I'll make calls with the lawyer, and I'll have talks with different people and different experts, and then I'll be gathering the information that way. So practical, real experience is how I gain my knowledge. All right, Nico, you got a question? Hey, what's up, Nico?
Hey, how's it going, podcast?
It's going good, man. How you doing?
Going well. Good to see you. Appreciate it for opening the opportunity to talk here. Boscas, I see that, you always try to advise us that it's going to have a massive inventory of real estate next year.
Yeah.
In the area that I am in, it's the DFW here. When I talk to the realtors say, hey, man, listen, I know probably it's going to have a bunch of inventory right now, back next year. But this year here, they're having properties are, asking price 300 going for 325. Property for 250, it's getting sold for 275. So I'm pretty sure that's mainly this market here is not the overall nationwide. You still think that is not a good time to buy it right now? And
so what is how much? So give me how much of a discount are they going for?
Well, they're not going for a discount. They're going above the asking price, about 7 to 15%.
No. I'm in Tampa. People from New York, New Jersey, Canada, California are moving here because there's no taxes like Texas. It's warm, and a lot of people that were going to come and retire decided to come now. So they're having a significant amount of people buying properties now, but that's not going to last. And how do I know I'm right? Other major investors are saying the same thing. Plus, in Dallas-Fort Worth, right?
Yeah.
Dallas-Fort Worth has a significant oil reliance. Oil barrels have been $20 to $30 a barrel. They're not profitable under 50. They need to have $50, $60 a barrel to break even. So you're telling me they're pumping oil now and losing money every time they pump. So you're in a market that is heavily reliant on oil. They're going to have a huge downturn coming, and this is going to come after next year when the government stops giving out as much money as they give now. So do I think you should be overpaying or paying a premium? No. Now, if you find a property and you're going to be in a great area and you're going to make a great return, I'll buy today. But if I'm not in a great area and I'm not getting a great return, I'm not in the business for a hobby. This is not a hobby business, right? I used to do it when I was younger because I loved real estate and thought it was really cool. And I still do. But now I still think it's cool, but it's even cooler when I make money while I do it. So I'm making sure that I'm making money while I'm doing it. So I'm not paying down loans. Some people are out there paying down their loans. I'm not doing that either. I'm holding the cash. I'm holding on the cash because the deals are going to come. And how do I also know I'm right? Because normally, every time I make a decision, I hear Manny Kashabin say the exact same thing like 2 weeks later. So I had a friend of mine. He came from England. He owns hotels in England. And I was telling him, hey, let's get ready. We're going to buy hotels on Clearwater Beach. And he's like, really? You think you're going to find deals on Clearwater Beach? I said, for sure. I'm probably going to buy a $20 million hotel for $5 million on Clearwater Beach. And we're going to need to raise probably roughly $2 million. We're going to put down $1 million and spend another $1 million on renovations. And he's like, I'm down. That'd be great. I said, okay. I said, and then he's like, you know what? Dallas is a great market. He's like, talking about buying in Dallas and this and that. I said, no, man, market's going to tank in Dallas. He's like, why? I said, the oil is they're not justifying in oil and all the other issues is going along around the country. And Dallas has a huge influx of people coming from California. I mean, it's all over the news. You can look at it. So how long is that going to last for? It's not going to last forever. This is a temporary spike. And, you know, it is going to continue to trend. People moving to Texas, Arizona, and Florida is going to continue to trend for the next 15 years. But this is a huge spike that's corona related. It's going to taper back down, and it's going to be more gradual and on a lower level, not as high as it is now. And then Manny Kashabin reposted in an article how commercial real estate in the Dallas-Fort Worth area is gonna be is in major trouble, and how there's gonna be crazy deals. And then he shows himself saying, save your cash up. I'm saving my cash up, getting ready to buy deals. And then the next post, he's working out. And I like Manny because it's like, honestly, every time I say something, a week or two later, he says the same thing. And then basically he also does it's very similar. I'm always working out because I'm like, all right, there's no deals out there. Let me just work out a lot. And then all of his Instagram posts are of him working out like multiple times a day. So I just choose to do different workout styles than him. So the point is, when the big money is saying the same thing, you know that you're on the right track. Part two, we got BlackRock and all the other hedge funds raising hundreds of billions of dollars, not millions. They're raising hundreds of billions of dollars to buy all of the real estate that's going to go on sale next year. They're creating big funds. So again, I'm hoping I can raise maybe hundreds of millions of dollars if I can get the right people on my team. And then we can go together and buy a bunch of real estate and, syndicate these deals and make money. Because if we can start picking stuff up for half price, and then in 5 years, 10 years, sell them for double the money, and we're only putting down 20%, and we're going to make 5-10 times our money along the way, you only got to make one move. And that's why you'll see me, I'm not out there where like there's some people that are like, hey, let's do a bunch of this trading and a bunch of this thing and a bunch of that thing. And that maybe it's good for them, right? Everyone has their style. I'm the type of guy that I bought one property last year for $1 million, invested basically another $1 million in it, and I made $1 million in equity. So I made $1 million on that property, and then I still net $13,000 a month in profit from one move. I'm the type of person that likes making one smart move and let it pay off for the rest of my life. And then look for another smart move and let it pay off for the rest of my life. Because I don't want to have to tread my wheels. Again, this is not a hobby. Like, I like doing what I do, but I want to make sure what I'm doing is smart and is going to pay me basically for life, in that I get consistent rewards for my energy. And I don't want to look at making $1,000 from that decision. I want to make $10,000 a month from that decision.
Right. Okay, so you think about it, just hold until next year, wait until the market tanks a little bit, and then go for it.
And again, the other thing is that you don't have to really worry about next year, because It's going to be a 3-year period that it's going to be down.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it's not like it's not 1 minute. It's not like the stock market was, no, it's going to be, and also part two, I think the stock market's going to tank. Let me clarify. I know the stock market's going to tank, and it's going to happen again next year. We're not in a V-shaped recovery. I do not predict that. I am predicting a W-shaped recovery. A W shape with not a quick spike, but more of a elongated spike. So we basically came back within 1 year from the coronavirus. Not happening. No, we're going to drop again, and it's going to take us 3 to 5 years to come back to where we were before. Now, again, there is a lot of spending, so it could happen within 3 years. So we take the spike, we take the drop right after Trump gets reelected. I'm calling Trump getting a reelection. I'm seeing no Biden signs anywhere. No one's. And then when I did that, when I posted saying, well, who do you guys think is going to win? 60% said Trump. Or no, they said who? I asked, who are you going to vote for? 60% said Trump. 40% said Biden. You know, so I think Trump's going to get reelected. I think after he gets reelected, it's going to go down. I think if Biden gets reelected, it's going to go even more down. And then after that, it'll take about by the end of his election period where everything will come back, because he does make smart business moves, but it's just a really bad, it's just a bad situation to be in, and that it's, you know, it's like a bomb went off. You know, it's like how are you going to go and fix all the trauma from it? It's going to take time.
Yeah, the other thing too, you're talking about the stocks. I follow Warren Buffett, and he has liquidated all his bank stocks and converting to the gold stocks. So that's another sign.
And let me hit on what you just said. Warren Buffett hates gold.
Yeah, I know.
He hates gold. And I also want to point out, tap myself on the shoulder. I said buy GOLD. Go back in my history. How many times did I mention I'm buying GOLD? And then I find out Warren Buffett buys the same stock, bought the same stock.
Yeah, that's a solid move.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people, you know, they keep yen as an indicator of most likely what's the new trend that's coming up to be. And a lot of people, they're not believing the next year it's going to have, you know, a huge tank for the stock market. And of course, by devaluating the dollar, people have to merge into, you know, protecting their assets. Real estate is one of them. The gold is another one. But I'm saying here that must be huge because he liquidated all of them. He doesn't have Bank of America, Merrill Lynch. He liquidated all of them with no exceptions.
Because they're going to get spanked. They're going to get spanked. The government has created such a all of the rules and laws that the government has created for banks has made it very hard for them to make money. The bank now, these big banks have basically become like utilities.
Mm-hmm.
But even the utilities companies are able to make better profits. So now the ones that are actually making profits are not banks, but more like mortgage players, like Quicken Loans, Rocket Mortgage. Their stock keeps on going through the roof. In a little bit, we're actually going to be coming out with our own company that's going to be a fintech company. And because it doesn't, and they asked me, they're like, Pascal, do you want to do banking with your app? And I said, no, I don't want to do banking because banking is super regulated. There's almost no money involved. It's like, it really is not worth it. You know, there's other things you could do that are similar to banking. That's actually more profitable.
Mm-hmm. Got it. All right, buddy. I appreciate it. Thanks so much for the wise words.
You're welcome. See you next time.
See ya.
All right. Is it better to form an S Corp or a LLC? As a veil a person's personal credit profile from coming up in a credit report. So that question is kind of an inaccurate question, because an LLC is the way that your legal formation is, and basically would be explaining how you would get sued, kind of in a lawsuit, and partially how credit would apply to you. An S corp is a way that you are going to get taxed. So one is tax, one is law. So you can be an S corp and be an LLC. You can be an S corp and be an Inc. You can be a 1065 and be an LLC. You could be a 1065 and be an Inc. Or an LLP. So you can be a C corp and be an LLC, and be a C corp and be an Inc. You could be any combination of those things. So the point is, if you're looking to protect from your credit profile, any individual, we're talking about small loans, unless you're going into like big time loans. I'm talking about big time, meaning over $1 million. You're going to have to personal guarantee. So if you get a business loan and you get it in your business name using your business EIN, it should not show up on your credit. But if you default on that loan, then it will show up in your credit, because then they're going to come after you because you're the personal guarantee. Normally, you have to get a loan over $1 million before they remove the personal guarantee rule. The reason is if there is no personal guarantee and it's just strictly business, they can come in and take it from you a lot easier and then just resell it to someone else, instead of going through the time of having to fight you to get the property back and collect and pay all those legal fees. She says, great question, great guest. Yes, he was. I like the good questions, because the harder the question, the more I'm able to go into detail and explain the logic behind certain decisions I make. Hugo says, do you write off those expenses? I guess you're talking about my home expenses, and that's yes. Daniel says, so I can write off my vitamins. I spend $1,000 a month too. Yes, Daniel, if you have a doctor, recommend them. Your doctor, your chiropractor, which is probably also a doctor, recommend that for you, then yeah, you'd be able to write them off as a medical expense, as long as your doctor recommended. Teen Ambition says, I swear I watched Manny's new video and Z was like, Pascal was just talking about this. I don't know who Z is, but I'm glad Z was paying attention. I was like, yeah. So guys, if you're on it, like a lot of times you're going to be like, how does he know this? 20 years. So if this is really your passion, this is what really you enjoy doing, you're going to constantly be listening and figuring out what's going on. Just think about it. Your friends are watching, say, basketball or football or whatever their thing is all day. You know, they're always watching it. They're always listening about it. They're always keeping up on it. They know what every player who's playing with. They have their fantasy sport league. They have all that stuff. When I was younger and I didn't have money, I had a fantasy stock trading account where I could trade stocks and just play around and see how much money I could make with fake money. I would play all these games to just figure out how it would be done and if I could possibly do it myself. I'd run fake scenarios to buy properties. So if you're really, really about this business, you're really about this life, and you want to be an investor, you want to be a business person, then you just put in the work. And it's not work, it's fun, it's a hobby. Bro, what's your net worth? I'm comfortable. Do you answer the question about 401k and 529 college funds? Do you recommend them? I personally don't think they're necessary. This is my opinion, because as a real estate investor, whenever you're investing in a property, you have a thing that's called depreciation. So you can depreciate the asset and be able to write off your income. So most of the time, you don't have any, like honestly, in the last 15 years, I don't think I paid like any taxes. I might have paid maybe $1,000 a year. And because you have all these write-offs, you can legally write off a lot, right? There's all these companies, GE, Amazon, and all these other companies that basically don't pay any taxes at all because of all the write-offs that they have. Yep. But again, remember, guys, play the game. All right. What are the questions we got here? What's the cost of your course in Indian rupees, sir? I do not know. It's $497 for my course. It teaches you credit, savings, teaches you investing, how to buy and close on your first deal. It's foundations of personal finance. There's other stuff in the course too. There's a lot in the course. Whatever the dollar conversion is, so $497 times the dollar conversion of the Indian rupee. Oh, link in the course in the bio. So George, I accepted you, and I don't know if it's going to work or not. Let's see.
This for kids.
Hello?
This for kids.
It's for anyone who wants to learn how to invest and make money.
Well, I want to learn how to make money.
Well, keep watching. You're going to learn a lot.
All right.
I started when I was 14, so keep studying. You'll get there.
I bought my own PS4 and I bought my own controller.
That's smart. That's smart. When I was younger, I used to buy my own. But back in the day, I was Super Nintendo and Sega Genesis. So, I bought my own stuff too. It's a good way to start.
All right.
All right. Keep hustling. Bet. I like it. No, I like it. I respect it. I started working when I was 8. Saved up my own money, bought my own video games, because, that's what you got to do. And you learn good habits. You learn how to save. So Hugo says, is it required to have a small company in an LLC to file an 1120S? No, you don't have to be an LLC. You could be an Inc. So remember, the LLC and Inc. is how you're choosing have your legal structure. And your 1120S, 1065, 1120, or Schedule C, those 4 options are the way you're choosing to get taxed. So you don't have to have an LLC to be an 1120S. Normally, people choose to go that way. Nico says, props for the humbleness of Pascal. Thank you. I don't remember what I was humble about, but thanks. All right. So why was little Georgie running around on Instagram without adult supervision? You know what? I remember when I was in New Jersey, I was 8, and I lived in the hood. I would run. The second I was allowed out, or I could sneak out, I snuck out, and I ran like probably 1 to 2 miles to go to the comic book store. And again, we didn't live in a good part of town. And I would go, and I would come back. My mom was like, "Where'd you go?" And I was like, "Nowhere, just like down the street." She's like, "Where?" And I was like, "Went to the comic book store." She's like, "That's like 2 miles away." And that was 2 miles one way. So I would go both ways, come back sweaty, just because I wanted to get another comic book. So if you really want it, you're going to put in the work. All right. Let's get it, guys. So can I get a loan of $200K with excellent credit but without any history? So I don't understand the question, because how do you have history with no credit? That doesn't make sense to me. What's the best thing you've learned financially so far this year? It's a really hard thing. I learned two things. One, like I know it, but knowing and knowing it well enough for you to act on it is two separate things. So I learned one, even though you can do it yourself or have someone that works for you do something, it's still better to get that thing done fast and pay more money. So I can have my own people do the windows, the stucco, and the paint. That's going to cost me around 70,000. So I was able to put a little bit of energy of my own people to cut down about $5,000-6,000 in cost off of the project. But if I had all of my own people do it, I could probably get the project done for around like $50,000. But it's better that I pay $65,000, get it done quick. Yes, it's an extra $15,000, but it's better for me to get it done quick and and have my team focus on other things, and so we can move it along the way. Because we'll be able to make up that $15,000 in other ways and still make the money on this project because we'll have a finished product faster, collecting more rent quicker. So that's one thing I learned. And very similarly, I learned that I always knew that if you can get someone to replace you, or not even fully replace you, but basically replace you at an 80%, then it's worth paying them. Because if you can get them to do 80% of what you can do, and you can pay them to do it, it's worth it. Because then you're going to be able to do more. And speed and time is very important in business. And you don't want to cost yourself by just doing it yourself. And yes, you could do it better. For sure, you'll be able to do it better. But the amount of what you lost on, like, for example, let's say you did it the best way possible. And because you did it that way, you made $10,000 profit. But if you hired a bunch of people, paid them, and they didn't do an A job, but they did maybe like an 80%, not 100%. You'd be able to make $100,000 profit, $30,000 profit. Yes, it wasn't perfect, but your actual profit, the net you receive, is 3 times as much. So that's what I am learning the hard way. When did you hire accountants to overlook your investments? I didn't hire accountants because I'm an accountant. I have an accounting firm. So I overlook my own investments. And normally within a few minutes, I'll know, like when I saw that last project that I bought, within actually the last 3 projects, within 5 minutes, I knew I was going to buy them. Like I saw it, I was like, wow, this is good. I ran a couple of pieces of information. Within 5 minutes, I knew. I called the realtor and I bought them right away. The last house I bought it. I called the realtor and basically said I'm buying it within 10 minutes of it hitting the market. So I don't need anybody else to tell me what's a good deal. Like I know what's a good deal. So that's that. Now again, if you're like a person that doesn't specialize in investing, then you can hire an accountant. Like people will hire us to review investments for them and to give us for us to give our opinion on that investment. All right. Awesome. I didn't know I was quoting John Maxwell. Hello? All right. So Hugh says, my guy is quoting John Maxwell. I love his books and I'm inspired by your course. Thank you. Thank you. I'm actually trying to get myself to carve time out to write a book, but actually I got like a couple of books I want to write. Jez, how are your books coming along? Jez has 2 books coming along. You know, how's your books going along, Jez? Huh? Yo, what's up, Alex? All right. So what are my thoughts on loans? I think loans are good, but loans are good. Loans are like a double-edged sword, right? Loans are good if you use them for a good reason. They're bad if you use them for a bad reason. If you make a smart decision, then loans will multiply that decision. If you make a bad decision, loans will multiply that division. So if you go to college and you get a loan, and going to college and getting a loan does not mean it's good or bad. If you go to college and get a loan to be a doctor and you practice as a doctor, then it could be good. But if you go to college to be a marketing and you spent $100,000 to go to college to get a bachelor's degree in marketing, then it's probably bad. So it depends. It's a double-edged sword. All right, guys, any more questions? Hey, what's up?
What's up, bro?
What's up? Where are you guys from?
I'm from Russia, bro.
Oh, it's cool. My friends are Ukrainian. They just got married this weekend.
Yeah, man, it's nice. I have friends. It's great.
Awesome.
Nice, man.
So what question do you have for me?
What is it?
What question do you have for me?
Bro, expel English.
What?
It's my he want you. I want ask Kigai. He want you, Kigai.
Awesome. So I don't know what happened there, but it's all good. The Russian mafias, they like my stuff, so I appreciate that. So all right. So they're hotboxing the car. They might just might be, you know. So Hugo says, how much did you put down on to buy the cottages? So I bought it for $950. I was doing the remodel, so I put down like 150, about 150,000. How much would you recommend spending on your first property? As much as possible. I mean, I would say get the biggest property possible. You know, the bigger the better return. Mike and wife says, I think he wants to ask you on a date. Believe it or not, I get a lot of those. It's very, what's the word I'm looking for? I'm saying it's flattering. There you go. That's what I'm looking for. It's very flattering. Thank you very much. Thank you for considering me. I don't know what to say. Pascal, take my money. Yeah, I got a lot of people asking me to take their money. Listen, guys, great investments are coming. Trust me. Be patient. Because if you're going to buy a deal now and you go and make a little bit of money on your deal, I promise you, if you wait, I'm going to have a lot of great deals where my team could do all the work and you'll make probably double or triple what you're probably going to do if you bought a deal right now. So be patient. Make triple the money. Do no work. And then you can enjoy all the great videos I'm going to put out about fixing up these properties. So I'm super excited. I'm being patient. I'm getting very antsy. Got money in my pocket. I want to spend it. I want to find more good deals. But until they come, staying in my pocket and waiting for that next great deal. So everybody, I hope you guys have a great night. And I will see you guys Sunday. Peace.